I have chosen to tell you the story of my mother, Lillian Barrett Kidd's last couple of weeks. So she had a fall. She had lots of falls, actually, and we found a waterfall in Oregon that we were going to take her to if she ever got well enough, and the name of it was Lillian Falls. But we never got there. Someday I'll go see it just on her behalf. But anyway, she had a fall, and actually her going into a nursing home wasn't because of a fall. She went into a nursing home because David was burned out from taking care of her for years. And so he decided it was time for her to go into the nursing home because he was not sleeping and doing things for a mother that he just was not comfortable doing. And he said, I want to remember her differently than the way she is now. So we all agreed, and we put her into Maple Springs in North Logan. And she didn't want to be there. Every day she would tell them that she didn't want to put her pajamas on because she wasn't staying. And so she would call me on the phone and say, when are you coming to get me? And at the week before she died, we were at camp. And so family camp for my immediate family. And she called and said, I'm just done being here. Come and get me. You said you'd come and get me. I hadn't, but I did say, Mom, we're at camp, and when it's over, I will come. And Janet never made it to camp because she was taking care of Mother. And here's where the fall comes in. Janet was at the nursing home with Mother and said, I have to go. And Mother said, I've got to go to the bathroom. And Janet said, just stay here on the bed and I'll get someone to help you. So she went out, told the desk that Mother needed to go to the bathroom and that she needed attention quickly. Well, I guess they weren't very quick, or Mother wasn't very patient, because she decided she could walk to the bathroom. She hadn't been able to walk on her own for a little while. And so she got up to go to the bathroom and fell and broke her wrist and her hip, and it was really bad. Janet had already left and got called to come back. When she was taken to the hospital, they said there's no way that we can mend her. Her bones are like styrofoam. And so that was the end of it. They brought her back to the nursing home, and she was in bed until the end. Janet and Carol and I decided that we would stay with her. She always liked someone to be with her. And so we stayed with her in the last 2 nights. We stayed with her 24/7. And we would talk to her and feed her, and she participated with conversations briefly, but toward the last day and a half she did not. She just lay there and had labored breathing. And we stayed with her. We made beds on the floor, and we talked to her and fed her constantly, fed her when necessary. But at the end, the last night, we knew it was getting close to the end. And so we surrounded her bed and sang, like I remember Debbie singing to Chad. So we were doing that. My sisters and I sang together often, and so it was normal for us to sing some of the songs that we had learned together. And we were singing to her, and she appeared to be asleep. But when we got to sing Oh, That I Were an Angel, which we had done many times, she started singing with us. She had been totally out of it, but her mouth moved to the words, and little sounds came out, and she sang along with us. And it was a really tender experience. I felt like she didn't really want to go, because she would go a whole minute or a minute and a half without breathing, and we'd think, this is it. And then she'd just gasp and start breathing again. But it was precious to all be there together, the three of us. David had a hard time and didn't want to see the end. He'd been her favorite. We all knew that David was her favorite because they had a real humorous connection. They really enjoyed each other's company and laughed a lot. It was hard for him to see her in the end. But for us, her daughters, it was very tender for us to surround her bed and watch for that last breath, which we also were all able to do for our dad, which was, a real blessing and privilege to be there as they both passed through the veil.